Liz, you had a Jesus in your other class before? In what class? Look at that.
All right. So it says Eric is researching quadratic functions and created a table of examples and non-examples shown. What is the difference between examples of quadratic equations and ones that are not? What is the biggest thing that you notice?
F of x.
No, they both have f of
Dang
x. Nope, they both have negatives.
Oh,
They both have binomials.
The example has a trinomial.
You can have a trinomial that's not an example.
Oh, because the non-examples have a cubed.
You're getting closer, warmer.
Dang it. Heaven
We
has-
wrote it in all of our notes from the last unit.
Oh, A is
We wrote it up here. What makes a quadratic a quadratic?
Or the exponent of 2.
That they have an exponent of 2.
I knew it.
No, you didn't, because you didn't guess it the first time.
Right.
So, yes, every example of a quadratic function has that exponent of 2. Okay?
So
Now, if you look at the non-examples, this one has an exponent of 3. This one has an exponent of 1, exponent of 1. Okay? So, quadratic is always going to have that highest exponent of 2. Even though this one has an exponent of 2, it has that exponent of 3 that makes it a different function. Okay? So, if I look at a quadratic function, let me get my calculator. And since I'm recording this, I need to get my camera out. Where's my camera? Here we go. Let's say I put in that very first equation. Clear that out. Can you please stop tapping your pencil? Because that is when Miss Lovelace keeps Miss Lovelace from thinking straight.
I bet.
So when I hit graph, that's what it looks like, okay? All of your quadratic functions are going to have that U shape. And that U shape has a special name, which we'll go over in a little bit.
Cool.
Okay. So quadratic functions are functions with a degree of 2. Degree of 2 meaning your exponent is 2. Okay, we talked about that word degree with another lesson. The standard form of a quadratic function is f of x, or you can write just y equals ax squared plus bx plus c.
What the?
Okay. The graph of a quadratic function, the shape is called a parabola.
What?
Okay? That U shape is called a parabola. That U shape is called a parabola. Are you ready? Okay. So go ahead and put all that away. Take it on your keywords and then that's do next. All right. So it says in number 1, for numbers 1 through 3, we're going to complete the table and then we're going to sketch it. Okay? So keep in mind whenever you're graphing, even though you guys are so used to drawing straight lines and everything, remember it is a U shape, so you got to give it a little bit of a curve. Okay? Now to identify A, B, and C, I suggest you write your standard form above it, ax squared plus bx plus c. That way you can tell me what A, B, and C are. A, B, and C will always be the coefficients or the constants. They're going to be the numbers, not the letters. So what is A?
X squared.
They're going to be the numbers, not the letters. So what is A?
1.
1. The coefficient of x squared, the number in front of x squared, invisible number 1. What is B?
2.
And C?
Negative 3.
Okay. Very, very important that you're able to identify A, B, and C. Okay? Because that part is going to play into solving whenever we get to the solving part. But that's not today. Now, the next part, I'm going to type this equation into y equals so I can fill my table out. Okay?
So x squared.
I'm going to move over my camera. Clear whatever I have.
X squared plus 2
X squared plus 2x minus 3. Okay? Now, we have to fill out the table so we can find those points that we're going to graph. So, what do? Second graph. Now, our table starts at negative 2. And here I have my negative 2. These are the numbers that we're going to fill into that table. Okay? So, negative 2 goes with negative 3. Negative 1 goes with what? Negative 4. And then negative 3 again. 0 and 5. Okay?
Does I have a question?
I don't have an answer for you yet.
Thank you.
I'm not taking questions. Now, look at your y values. There's a special thing that you end up noticing about your y values. Whenever you are factoring, whenever you are trying to do the number divided by x plus y1, and trying to find that bottom number in the diamond, right? You would always end up finding your answer in what? How many spots? 2 spots. That's because it's a quadratic function. If you look at these y values, notice you have 2 negative 3's, yes?
Yeah.
That is because this point is the turning point for that quadratic. This point right here is where it actually starts to curve, where you have either your hill, your hump, or your valley when it goes down low. Okay, this is a special point, and you need to be learning how to find that turning point. Okay, if I go to my calculator, if I go back to my calculator, let me see. Notice, there's my negative 4, but there's what?
2 negative
2 negative 3's. Then after that, 2
5.
zeros, 2 5's. So what do you think is going to end up being above this 5 right here?
12.
A 12. And then above the 12?
21.
21. That's because there's a special pattern there that we're going to be talking about with this unit, okay? So let's go ahead and plot our points. Negative 2, negative 3 down here. Oops. Negative 1, negative 4, 0, negative 3, 1, 0, 2, 5. And remember, this is the turning point. It's the curve. So right now it looks like a J, but remember it has to be a U. So just make it and turn it into a U shape. I'm waiting. These are the points that I plotted from my table. But I know that it's supposed to look like a U shape, so I just kind of extended this line right here. Okay? It looks like a weird U, but it is a U. Everybody got your graph?
Nope. It looks like a fish hook.
Now it looks like a U. All right, next one. I'm going to write ax squared plus bx plus c above it. A is what?
1.
1. But that negative 2, what number does that represent? B or C?
B. C.
Why C?
Because it's the last one.
What happened in the middle one?
It canceled out.
So it canceled out. What number did B have to be in order to cancel that X out? What number do you multiply to eliminate the variable?
0.
0. So basically, it's like having x squared plus 0 times x minus 2. Because 0 times anything, what happens? Cancels out. So in this case, B is 0. Okay? Now we type that equation. You still type the original equation into y equals and fill out your table, which is x squared minus 2. What number goes with negative 2?
2.
Positive 2?
Yep.
And negative 1?
Yeah, negative 1.
0?
Negative 2.
2.
1?
Negative 1.
And 2?
2.
Okay, so look at your y values. Does anybody see where the turning point is, where that hump or the valley is?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's in between the negative.
Give me the
2.
point.
Negative 2. 0, negative 2.
0, negative 2. Because from there, what do you see? Negative 1 with negative 1, 2 with 2. That's what creates that U shape, okay? So let's plot our points. Negative 2, positive 2, negative 1, negative 1, 0, negative 2, ta-ta. Okay, here's my U shape. And then from there, I'm just going to extend my line. Ladies, do y'all have any questions?
Oh,
No? Okay. All right. Questions on this one?
No.
What's the difference between number 2 and number 3? There's a small difference.
The A is negative.
There you go. If you look at it, the A is not a positive one. It's a
Negative.
now because B is not in there. B has to be
0.
and then -2. All right. So put a negative in front of that x squared on your calculator. Putting a negative in front of that x squared. Now -2 is paired with what number?
-6.
-6. Then
-3.
then
-2.
and -3, -6. Okay. I'm gonna wait for y'all to catch up.
I'm still confused how this thing keeps leaking. It's full of color.
It's leaking.
Yeah. I don't know.
Everybody caught up? All right. Can anybody see where the turning point is? Where the valley, the hump?
Yeah.
0, -2. Very good. -3 goes with -3. -6 goes with -6. Okay. So that's where you end up seeing your little U shape or the hump. -2, -6 is here. -1, -3, 0, -2. And in this case, this one isn't a U. This one is a hump. A hill. A hill or a hump, whatever you want to call it. Okay.
I call it a mountain.
A mountain.
Because it rhymes with growth.
But mountain's kind of a long word. Whatever. So, look at your values of A. What made the difference? What happened when it went from a positive A to a negative A? Not that it's going down, because both of them are going down and up.
It curves up, then curves down.
Curves up, curves down, opens up, opens down is what we like to say, okay? So with a positive A value, if you have a positive AX squared, the parabola, that's your U shape, parabola, it opens up. Oops, I had a little moment of dyslexia. Opens up, meaning it's going to create a valley. Does everybody know what a valley is? Because somebody in first period didn't know.
Yeah, it's the thing that a river makes after a long
Valley,
period of time.
you go down in the valley. That's a valley. Okay.
Like an upside
So
down, basically.
it makes your U shape. Okay. Now, if A becomes negative AX squared,
Turns into an N.
it opens down, makes a hump or a hill.
N.
That's not how you draw an N or write an N.
It is a lowercase n.
Flip it over if you're ready, if you don't have any questions.
Lowercase n.
You don't know how... An N goes like this. What about this part?
I don't draw it like that. I draw just an N.
So you draw that?
Yeah, exactly, an N.
You need to work on your penmanship, friend. Okay. So, we talked about that hill, that turning point, that hump. That is actually called your vertex. That is going to be the maximum or the minimum point in your parabola, in your U shape. That's going to be the maximum or the minimum point.
Why is minimum?
Okay? Everybody knows the difference between max and min?
Yeah.
Max means what?
Higher.
Highest. Minimum means
Lowest.
lowest. So if you look at that parabola there on the right, you'll see your vertex right here. And this specific vertex is a what? A max or a min?
Max.
Min, because this one goes down low. Okay? This parabola goes down low. So the vertex is a minimum. Minimum is a specific type of vertex. Okay?
Wait, so
What?
you're saying that if it's in like the negative spot or below, it'll...
Not because it's in the negative spot, because you can still have a minimum right here.
So then...
It's because it's the turning point.
Oh.
That's where the U comes in.
So if it goes
That's
like
the
that,
curve.
So if it goes like that, that would be the highest?
It'll be a maximum. Okay. So now the maximum and the minimum, if they ever ask you for the value of the maximum or the minimum, they're asking you for the y value of it. Okay. They're asking for the y value. Now, y-intercept is something you should already know what it is. The point where the parabola crosses what?
The x. My bad.
The y-axis. So you should know where to find that. Yeah. The point where it crosses a y-axis, there's my y-intercept. What is another name for the y-intercept? We've talked about it before.
V.
Very good. I'm so proud. In a word problem, they'll try to confuse you by asking you for the starting point. That's your y-intercept. Next one, x-intercept. The x-intercept is where the parabola crosses the
X-axis.
Now, what do you notice about it? Because it's a u, what do you notice about the x-intercept? What's special about the x-intercept?
Twice.
It crosses twice. 1, 2 times. There's actually 2 x-intercepts. It crosses the x-axis in 2 different
What if it
spots.
asks for the
Okay,
x-intercept?
so what is a different word for the x-intercept? There's one that we've used a whole lot last semester. Starting point would be your y-intercept.
Does it start with the S?
Starts with a z.
The 0.
There you go.
Dang it.
Now, the 0 is one that we've used a lot. It's a very common word. That's why I put a star next to it. But with this unit, they can also use the words roots or solutions. Yeah, roots or solutions. Now, the rest of this is going to go pretty fast, so get ready.
Cool.
Number 4. It says number 4 on it. Ready? Questions about any of these parts?
Nope.
All right. So number 4, the vertex is where? Where do we find it? Where do we find the vertex?
On the y-axis.
That's and this one is the bottom, so this one would be a what?
-4.
Minimum.
Oh.
And yes, it is. The vertex is 3, -4.
Well, why did they put a line there for you to... Oh.
What?
Never.
Okay. The vertex is 3, -4. Now, what is the minimum value?
4. -4.
Because the minimum value represents the what?
The y-axis.
Not the y-axis.
What? Y
The
value.
y value. The minimum is the y value of the vertex. Got it? Now, what are my zeros?
1 and 5.
+1, +5. It crosses the x-axis at 1 and 5. Okay? What is the y-intercept?
5. 4.
Give me the y-intercept as an ordered pair.
5.
0, 5. 4 is close, but it's actually crossing at 5. If I zoom in on the 4, notice you still have this little gap right there. Okay?
I have glasses.
He didn't have his glasses on. It's okay. Number 5. What is the vertex?
6. 0, 6.
0, 6. It is a maximum value because it is a high point. What is the max value?
6.
6. What are my zeros?
-4 and +4.
-4 and +4. All right. What is my y-intercept?
0, 6.
0, 6. Fun fact, yes, the vertex and the y-intercept can be the same. They can be the same. Okay? Questions on this one?
Nope.
All right. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Am I going too fast? Let me know. Yes, no? Okay. All right. Number 6. What's the vertex?
0, -4.
What is the vertex? There you go.
What?
-4, 0.
Oh, frick.
It's on the x-axis, not the y-axis, so be very careful. Is this a maximum or a minimum?
Minimum.
All right. What is the minimum value?
0.
Trick question. Yes, it is 0.
I knew it.
0 is the y value of the vertex. The y value of the vertex. Okay? The y value is 0. The x value is -4. Okay? Be careful with that. What are the zeros? What are the x-intercepts?
-4.
Is there another one?
No.
No. And this is possible. It is possible to only have 1, 0. It is possible for the parabola to only touch in one spot, only touch the x-axis in one spot. Now, we don't see this with this lesson, but it can also be possible for it to not touch the x-axis at all.
Cool.
Okay? Just keep that in mind. What is the y-intercept?
14.
Yes. As an ordered pair?
0, 4.
0, 14. Okay? All right. Last problem. Last problem are all true, false. You ready?
Yeah. No.
Yes?
Yeah.
No? Yes? Okay. What's the y-intercept?
8, 0, 8. 0, negative 8.
So, true, false?
True.
True. It says the vertex is at 1, 9. True or false?
False.
Why?
Because it's a negative 9.
Correct. So, cross that out. Write 1, negative 9. All right. And it says the f of x only has 1, 0. True or false?
Wrong. False.
How many zeros does it have?
2.
It has 2 zeros. One of them is at negative 2, and the other one is where?
4.
4. It's at
This
negative
is
2
light.
and 4. So that one was false. Yeah, it's an introduction, so it shouldn't be too difficult.